All right, welcome back to the channel. We're gonna finish this mint wine today. This is part 2. Look at it, it's done. I'm gonna show you the process, but we added a twist to this to make this even more minty. Part 2. You already seen how we fermented the mint wine and we got it into here. This video is gonna be finishing this wine. Don't hit this subscribe button here. The subscribe link is down below. And make sure you hit that like and click that notification bell to get notified of everything. And you don't wanna miss this video, the finished mint wine.
We know the change will surely come. Baby, one more trip around the sun.
We are ready to get the bentonite added to this and filter it. You're gonna wanna watch to the end. We're gonna do something special to this mint wine. All right, and if you watch my videos, you know I love bentonite. This is all I use for filtering. So I'm gonna show you how to do that. I'm not gonna bore you with some of the details of the racking with this, but one thing I wanna show you is, remember, we got more than 1 gallon out here. We got this extra quart here. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna rack this into my fermentation bucket because I'm out of carboys. Normally, I would just rack this directly into another carboy with my bentonite in that. But since I got extra, we're just gonna put it all in the bucket. I'm gonna wash and sanitize into these, and then we'll put what's in the bucket back in here that will have the bentonite in. And also, I'm gonna show you a lot of equipment in here. If you wanna buy any of this, I got links down in the description for this stuff as well. So everything you're seeing, you can buy by just clicking the link and heading to Amazon. Look at this. You should smell the mint in this. This wine is gonna be fantastic. All right, so you can see here, I got everything sanitized the way I want, from the carboys to our equipment. Very little equipment needed in this stage. Let's get our bentonite mixed up. You can see here in the recipe, it says 2 teaspoons for half a cup of warm water, which is sufficient for 5 gallons. I'm just gonna half that because I only got a little over a gallon. So let's put 1 of these in here. And I got a 1/4 cup of the water, and we're gonna stir this. And we want it to get dissolved. We want it to be milkshake consistency. That's what we're trying to get to. So let's mix away. You just want to add the bentonite according to your instructions. So if you're going from carboy to carboy, put that bentonite into your empty carboy and then rack this directly into that bentonite. Remember, I'm low in carboys, so I got to rack this into this bucket, clean the other carboys, and then put it back in. So remember, here's our bentonite. We want to add it to the bucket to the bottom because as we rack this, we want to mix some of this bentonite in. Just saves us a little bit of time. And you will see lumps, and don't worry about it. We will stir the bentonite for the next 3 to 4 days. You can see here we're racking the wine into our bucket that has the bentonite in. We added the bentonite. I got so many videos on how to use the bentonite. Make sure you're watching those. Now remember, when we're racking this, we want to stay as far away to that bottom, which is where that dead yeast is. We don't want to keep most of that out of there if we can. So let's get this other one into there. And that's it. Don't be afraid to wait just a little bit. You can see the yeast at the bottom there. That's okay. We don't want to get any of that in our bucket. Let's cover this bucket, get these sanitized and washed, and put that back into these. So remember, we got the bentonite at the bottom here. I just want to stir that in ever so gently to get it kind of mixed in with this wine. We'll stir it again once we're in the carboys, but just gently stir this just a little bit. Let's get it racked into our sanitized containers. So there it is. This is a little lower. I could add a little bit more water. I added a little water here. That's fine as long as you're not adding too much. You can always top off with other wine. Some people will use juices. That's fine too. But now we gotta stir this bentonite in a little bit. Remember, we added it and we stirred it gently. But what we want to do is get that bentonite suspended. For the next 3 to 4 days, we want to do this with a sanitized paddle. That's why I have a squirt bottle, so I can sanitize this paddle each time. And get the airlock. Again, oxygen's your enemy. Let's do this one. And that's it. We're going to do that for 3 to 4 days and let it sit for 30 days. 30 days later. All right, today's wrap-up day. We're bottling this mint wine. I can't wait to show you this video. It's part 2. Make sure you're watching part 1 that shows you how we fermented it and got it into our secondary. That's a great video. Don't miss it. But anyway, I'm going to show you a twist today. Look at this. This is mint extract that I made myself. Homemade extract, mint extract, to bring this up a notch, this mint wine. So I'm going to show you, I'll do a future video on how I made this. But again, it's easy. If you watch my making of the vanilla extract, it's very similar to that. We're going to make it more minty. Again, make sure you're watching to the end of this. It's a great video. I can't wait to show it to you. But let's get right into making this. Bottling, finishing, racking, back sweetening. It's all in this video. Let's go. Is it clear or what? Hopefully you can see my hand through here. But we're ready to get this racked and bottled. You can see the bentonite down here at the bottom. I'll show you a close-up of that. But it's time to get our Camden tablets and stabilizer, potassium sorbate. Now, so many people have asked me, are these necessary, the Camden tablets and the potassium sorbate? Yes, these are the two that I would not skip in the bottling process. The Camden tablets are gonna help with sanitation and bacteria control, and the stabilizer, if you're back sweetening your wine, is going to help you make sure that it's stabilized and you're not going to blow corks or anything. So yes, these both I would not skip in the bottling stage. All right, let's get some simple syrup going because we want to back sweeten this mint wine. I got a cup and a half of sugar, and then to that we're going to add a cup and a half of water, and we're going to just get this dissolved on the stove. We don't want to boil it or anything. We just want to get it dissolved. Again, you want equal parts water to sugar. Let's get the heat on. There you go. You can see it starting to bubble. The sugar's dissolved. All we want to do now is shut off the heat and let this cool to room temperature. All right, by now you know I love Star San, so we're going to get some sanitizer mixture going here. We're going to do a 2.5 gallon batch, so I want 1/2 ounce of the Star San, 1/2 ounce, and we're going to get some warm water in here, 2.5 gallons worth. All right, let's get some of our stuff sanitized. I always like to have, we're going to be back sweetening this wine, so we want a straw and a tasting cup. Put that in there. We got some measuring spoons. I'm going to need these. Put these in here. I got some corks, about 6 of them for this little over a gallon. I think that's going to be plenty. Throw them in there. We got to sanitize our wine bottle, so wine brush, put that in there. We're going to need a stir paddle to stir some of the chemicals in. We'll need our racking cane, so we obviously want to sanitize this, the hose and everything. Throw your cup in. You're going to need, that's going to help you also get some of this stuff sanitized that you can't get down in the bucket. And you know I love a spray bottle. I'm going to fill up this with some sanitizer because when we get these wine bottles filled up, they're going to get a little sticky, and we'll use this to wipe everything down. All right, for this 1.5 gallon batch, I got about 6 bottles. We want to get these sanitized and cleaned up to make sure there will be no bacteria issues. So let's get these done.
It's all in our hands, this life of time.
All right, I got a sanitized bucket that we're going to rack our wine in because we want to mix some of our chemicals in there. And it makes it easier when we use this to bottle. So what we got our stabilizer. Since we're going to sweeten it, we want to add stabilizer. The recipe calls for a half a teaspoon per gallon. And remember, I got a little bit more than a gallon. So I'm going to put a half in and then just a little bit extra because of the extra that we're going to have. All right, the next thing we want to do, I got 2 sanitized spoons. We want to get our Camden tablets crushed up in here. So again, 1 per gallon you put in. So let's crush this. And again, since I got a little extra, I want to put a little bit more of a Camden tablet. So I'm just going to crush this and just put a little bit in and throw the rest away. Again, if you have extra more than a gallon, you may have to adjust this a little bit. Let's get this racked. We're going to get our airlock off and we're going to get our hose down in our bucket here. Like that. And we'll get this siphon going. Man, if you could smell this, it smells so good. All right, the siphon is going. The wine is going down in here. Now remember, I want to keep this far away from that bentonite just because we don't want to get any of that in our bottle. So we're going to do this one and then we'll rack this one in as well. And you can tilt this a little bit, but again, don't stir the bentonite. We don't want any of that in here. It's better to throw some out than to get it in there. And that's it. So you can see we got our wine racked in our bucket here. I got my sanitized paddle, and we just want to try and incorporate, without vigorously doing this, that stabilizer and Camden tablets. So that's what we're doing at this point. We're stirring that in to get everything incorporated. All right, so we got everything wrapped in here. We stirred it up. Remember I said we had that twist? Well, here it is. What we're going to do is we're going to bring this mint wine up to the next level. So what I did, you can see there's a little bit of floaties in here. I filtered it out through a coffee filter in this sanitized glass. And I got maybe a half a shot glass in here, but we're going to put that in to step it up a notch. Now is the fun part. We get to add our simple syrup and start to taste this. So I'm just going to add a little at a time and taste as we go. So there we go. I got that. I'm going to stir it in, get it incorporated. And I got my shot glass here and my straw. And since my wife's not here, I'm going to have to do this myself. Still needs to be sweeter. And this is what makes the hobby fun. You get to make this the way you want. If you want dry, don't even put the sweetener in here. You know we like semi-sweet wine, so that's what I'm going for in this mint wine. Oh, that's almost perfect. I'm just going to add a little bit more. But man, you can really taste the mint in there. That's perfect. I think we're ready to bottle this finally. All right, we got our wine tipple and we're ready to get this siphon going. And you can see there, it's going in our wine. That's our mint wine. So I'm hoping we get 6 bottles out of this, but 5 will be nice also. Now you can see the sanitizer in there being forced out the top. That's fine. So there we go. Let's do the next. Let's get them corked up here. Okay, in case you're wondering, I got 5 bottles of wine, and this one, it's not filled up near as high. I did cork it, but this is going in the refrigerator to try it a little later, maybe later this week. But I can't wait to see you next time. Make sure, again, like and subscribe. Till next time, have a great week, have a great weekend.